Namo Amida Dharma. The True Teaching on Amida Buddha and His Pure Land by Reverend Joshua Adrian Celia. Chapter 1. The True Teaching on Samsara. Part 3. Some Buddhist explanations on the origin and existence of the universe. Shakyamuni Buddha stated, quote, "Regard this phantom world as a star at dawn, a bubble in a stream, a flash of lightning in a summer cloud, a flickering lamp, a phantom and a dream." End quote. Question. If the Buddha Dharma denies the idea of a creator God, then how does it explain the existence of the various worlds and universes? First of all, when it refers to worlds and universes, the Buddha Dharma explains them as places of rebirth or samsaric realms. Thus, they are inhabited by unenlightened beings in various stages of spiritual evolution or involution. As far as I know, most of the monotheists give the following argument in the support of their belief in a supreme creator God. If you see a house in a field, you ask yourself who built it. In the same way, this complex world is the creation of our God. Anything that exists has a creator. This is the basis of their belief system, but for Buddhists, the matter is wrongly addressed here. Yes, indeed, everything has a creator, but not in the way that monotheists think. I would rather say every dream has a creator, the dreamer. And who is the dreamer? It is us, the unenlightened beings with our specific individual karma, but also with the collective karma or the karmic connections we create among us. The various worlds and universes are intrinsically linked with the beings who inhabit them. So we can say that the first exist because of the karma of unenlightened beings, or in other words, the karma of unenlightened beings is the primary cause for the existence of worlds and universes. Let's take a look, for example, at the hell realms. Who are the tormentors, hell wardens, or terrifying beasts who apply punishment to those born there? What is the true nature of the molten bronze, of the fierce mountains, rivers of fire, and various other material elements which are to be found in hells? Are they created by somebody, and do they have an existence of their own? According to the Buddhist teaching, they are the manifestation of the evil karma of the hell dwellers, just like the monsters and terrifying places in our nightmares are created by our own thoughts and cravings. In the nightmares, the monsters and the terrifying places are real for the dreamer, and it is exactly so for those reborn in hells. Thus, there is no creator God who made hell or invented the hell wardens to punish the sinners, because the sinners themselves are responsible for the existence of those places. Every thought and action we do is a cause that will have consequences, effects. If we constantly dwell on evil thoughts and deeds, we change our inner world, our mind stream, and we'll sooner or later be surrounded by an evil and painful outside world, our bodies and the environment. So, after we leave this human form and world, we'll be reborn in a body and world that will correspond with, that is, a reflection of our minds and karma. Just like hells are the reflection of the most evil karma of beings, the rest of the planes of existence, animals, hungry ghosts, humans, asuras, or demigods and gods, also appear due to the karma of beings. Thus, we can say that the 6 realms of existence, which are described in the sacred texts, are on the one hand 6 dimensions of consciousness, or 6 dimensions of possible experiences which manifests in us individually as the 6 negative emotions: anger or hate, greed, ignorance, jealousy, pride, and pleasurable distraction. And on the other hand, they're actual realms into which beings are born due to collective karma. Even while living in our human bodies, we are connected to each realm dimension, and we have within us the seeds of rebirth into every one of these realms. Thus, during our lifetime, when we experience different emotions, we participate in some of the characteristic qualities and suffering predominant in other realms. For example, when we are dominated by hate and anger, we are like the hell beings. When we are greedy, we feel something similar with those born in the hungry ghost realms or predators, whose bodies are tormented by insatiable thirst or hunger. When we think only to satisfy our sexual desires, we resemble animals. When we are filled with pride, we enjoy and suffer just like the Asuras or demigods, who are always prone to fighting. When we try hard to cultivate moral discipline, but still can't give up jealousy as the dominant emotion, we may be reborn mentally or physically in the human world. Also, when the 5 negative emotions, that is anger or hate, greed, ignorance, jealousy, and pride, are to be found in balance and low quantity, that this is what is meant by pleasurable distraction, and we try even harder to accumulate good karma, we may feel like those reborn among the gods of the world of desire, and after death we will actually go there. If we try hard to practice various kinds of samadhi and meditation, we can also enjoy pleasures that go higher than material desires, and so after death we can advance to the gods living in the world of form, which is higher than the world of desire, and even further to the gods in the world of non-form, who do not have any attachment to body and do not even possess a definite body. In short, there are many experiences that sentient beings can enjoy, from sexual instincts, hate, anger, greed, jealousy, pride, pleasurable distractions, to various absorptions and spiritual pleasures. These can generate, even in this life, the states of mind corresponding to the various planes of existence, which after the karmic effect of being born here is exhausted, will lead to an actual rebirth in a specific plane of existence. Of course, these emotions are often found in various combinations inside our conscience, and we are a mixture of hate, pride, sexual desire, avarice, greed, etc. But sometimes our lives can become dominated by a specific emotion, which can thus weigh heavier than the rest and determine our future rebirth. Hitler or Stalin, for example, are the perfect examples of beings who were dominated by hate and anger, which resulted in mass murder. Thus, even if they lived more than 50 years in human form and human dimension, their minds already resembled those of the hell dwellers, and I'm sure that after their physical death and departure from this realm, their mental continuum was reborn in one of the hells. As I previously said, because we are the creators of our emotions, we are too the creators of the dimensions and realms which correspond to them. Just like in one night we dream of walking in a beautiful garden because we did some good deeds and had compassionate thoughts towards others during the day, we can also be reborn in God realms after a life in which we kept the negative emotions in some kind of balance, but we still could not reach freedom from any of them. Or, as in a nightmare in which we are hunted down by fierce animals and monsters, after we were immersed in thoughts of hate and murder for a day or a week, we can also be reborn in various hells after a life filled with constant killing and angry behavior. As we have in us the potential and the seed of every dimension and realm, we alone are responsible for our present and future destiny. No so-called creator God has any role in this, and no one can be blamed except us. According to Shakyamuni Buddha, to accept the existence of a creator God would undermine the idea of moral responsibility, as it would mean that the 6 negative emotions, or the potentiality of having such emotions, which are the cause for the transmigration of unenlightened beings, were also created by him, and so he can be blamed for not making his creatures right. Quote, "He who has eyes can see the sickening sight. Why does not Brahma, equivalent to creator God idea, set his creatures right? If his, that is Brahma-wide power, no limit can restrain, that is, if he's omnipresent and omnipotent, why is his hand so rarely spread to bless? Why are all his creatures condemned to pain? Why does he not to all give happiness? Why do fraud, lies, and ignorance prevail, if he is omnibenevolent? Why triumphs falsehood, truth and justice fail? I count your Brahma one, the most unjust among who made a world in which to shelter wrong." End quote. Shakyamuni also said, quote, "If a creator God, Ishvara, were to determine the life of all beings, including their happiness and misery, virtue and vice, then man is carrying out the commandments of that God. Therefore, it would be God who would be smeared by their actions. If there exists some Lord all-powerful to fulfill in every creature bliss or woe, and action good or ill, that Lord is stained with sin. The human being does but work his will. End quote. Thus, the realms themselves, the worlds and universes, appear due to causes and conditions, which are mainly our own karma, just like the beautiful dreams or nightmares appear due to our own thoughts and deeds. Although the entire samsara, with its myriad of worlds and filled with the 6 types of being, appears to be distinct and solid, it is in fact dreamy and insubstantial. If a dream is an individual manifestation of karmic traces, in the case of the realms of existence, the karmic traces are collective. Because of the collective karma, the beings in each realm share similar experiences in a consensual world. Collective karma creates bodies, senses, and mental capacities that allow individuals to participate in shared potentials and categories of experience, while making other kinds of experience impossible. This is why, for example, some animals can hear sounds that humans cannot, while humans experience language in ways animals cannot. The same can be said for every category of beings from various dimensions of existence and worlds. There is a famous Buddhist explanation which sheds light upon this matter, according to which the same river appears as fire for the hell dwellers, as a hallucination which quickly disappears when approached by a hungry ghost, as a river of water for human beings, and as a river of ambrosia for the gods. This clearly shows that unenlightened beings actually see what their karma makes them see, and lives in places where their karma leads them to live, places which are the manifestation of karmic traces themselves. So if the same river looks different for different kinds of beings, some of them drinking from it while others being burnt by it, then which is the true nature of the river? Does it really exist as an independent and distinct material part of the world, or is it just an element of the samsaric dream? If the first would be true, then why are the Buddhas, who are the only awakened ones, not hurt or influenced by it? Thus, we can now know and see that although it appears substantially and solid for unenlightened beings attached to forms, it is in fact dreamlike and insubstantial for those who see and live in the true reality of Buddhahood. As Bodhisattva Nagarjuna explained, there is no reality in a dream, but nevertheless we believe in the reality of things seen in a dream. After waking up, that is becoming Buddhas, we recognize the falsity of the dream, and we smile at ourselves. In the same way, the person deep in the sleep of the fetters clings to the things that do not exist. But when he has found the path, at the moment of enlightenment, he understands that there is no reality and laughs at himself. This is why it is said, like in a dream. Moreover, by the power of sleep, the dreamer sees something where there is nothing. In the same way, by the power of the sleep of ignorance, a person believes in the existence of all kinds of things that do not exist, for example, me and mine, male and female, etc. Moreover, in a dream, we enjoy ourselves, although there is nothing enjoyable there. We are irritated, although there is nothing irritating there. We are frightened, although there is nothing to be afraid of there. In the same way, beings of the threefold world, in the sleep of ignorance, are irritated, although there is nothing irritating, enjoy themselves, although there is nothing enjoyable, and frightened, although there is nothing to be afraid of. Unenlightened beings are physically and mentally limited by their karma. They are born, they live, die, and are reborn again in the worlds determined by their karma. They cannot go further than the limitations imposed by their karma, and so they cannot see nor understand that which is beyond their karma. But the Buddhas, who are totally free from the bondage of karma, can move freely in the samsaric worlds and universes, the collective dreams of unenlightened beings. The Buddhas are not creators of the samsaric world, just like one person cannot create the dream of another, but teachers and saviors, or better said, awakeners of others. Through various means, that is, various Dharma methods, they try to awake sleeping beings from the samsaric dream. Thus, as Buddhists, we cannot say that a creator God made the universe, because that would deny the law of karma, according to which one reaps what one sows. One is reborn in the worlds and dimensions one deserves, together with the beings one deserves to be there, that is, karmically linked to. As we have seen, we cannot logically accept in the same time the law of karma and the existence of a creator God, as the two mutually exclude one another. Instead of a creator God, the collective karma of a multitude number of beings is the primary cause and first impulse for the appearance of a new universe. This karma contains all the potentiality of that specific universe, including its general laws of physics. Thus, once it comes into existence from collective karma, karmic causes, then all the laws of physics will follow. These will be responsible, for example, with what actually happens with the planets, changing of seasons, and so on. It is very important to understand that if the collective karma is the primary cause for the formation or apparition of a new universe, not all the things which happen next in that universe is due to karma. For example, when a leaf falls from a tree or when a rock falls from a mountain, it is not the karma of the leaf or the rock before, but the simple law of gravitation. If we happen to walk in the mountain when a rock falls and we hit on the head, then this is karma. But no matter where there are rocks or leaves, whether we're there or not, rocks and leaves will fall and planets will revolve around the sun, etc. Thus, once the universe appeared, not everything which happens in it can be called karma. However, I repeat, the impulse and the primal cause which brought that universe into existence is the collective karma of the beings that have the causes for rebirth in such physical conditions. Various universes may have different laws of physics because their formation was due to a different karma with different potentialities. So once they are formed, they can be developed in different ways than our own universe. Because of that, what we call human beings here may look totally different in another universe, although the basic emotions and karma which generate rebirth into human dimensions is the same. Neither the law of karma nor the various physical characteristics that appear in a specific universe are created by a supreme God. Just like when you spit in the air, it will fall in your face. When you piss against the wind, you will get wet. When you do an evil deed, you will automatically experience in the same life or one of the next lives the same suffering you inflicted on others. These things happen without the necessity that a supreme God gives a command and says, from now on, if you spit in the air, it will fall on your face. If you piss against the wind, you will get wet. So the law of karma, just like the law of gravity, has no creator, as both exist by themselves. Because individuals and various smaller or larger groups of beings make certain choices and plant certain seeds, they reap various results, which bring them for a birth in different universes and realms, which are themselves the effect of those beings' collective karma. Thus, the difference among unenlightened beings and the worlds and dimensions in which they live do not have the origin in the will of a creator God, nor do they appear from chance, but are the material imprint of individual karma and collective karma. This is a very important teaching, which clearly separates Buddhism from the monotheistic religions. In short, the karma versus the will of a God are the two main explanations of the world and the beings living in it that you can choose from, and which defines you as a Buddhist disciple or an externalist, that is, a non-Buddhist. According to the Buddhist teaching, there are an infinite number of world systems where rebirth takes place. These were classified into three categories. First, one small universe, which is traditionally called a small 1,000 world. It consists of 1,000 worlds. Each single world, sometimes called a Sumeru world, contains the various realms or dimensions of hells, hungry ghosts, animals, humans, asuras, and gods. Second category, one middle universe, which is traditionally called a medium 1,000 world. It consists of 1,000 small universes or 1,000 small 1,000 worlds. Third category, one large universe, which is traditionally called a great 1,000 world. It consists of 1,000 middle universes or 1,000 medium 1,000 worlds. These various worlds pass through an endless cycle of formation, existence, destruction, and annihilation, after which they are again formed, come into existence, are destroyed, annihilated, and so on. The 4 periods of cyclic changes are called kalpas. Period or kalpa of formation or generation. Secondly, period or kalpa of duration of existence. Thirdly, period or kalpa of destruction. Fourth, period or kalpa of annihilation. Each of these periods lasts 20 medium or intermediate kalpas. 4 periods of 20 medium kalpas each is 80 medium kalpas. 80 medium kalpas is 1 great kalpa. So one cosmic cycle composed of the 4 periods above is called 1 great kalpa. One Buddha may assume responsibility for the spiritual care of one large universe, a great 1,000 world, which then becomes that Buddha's field of action or Buddha field. This is also called a Buddha land, the one large universe in which we ourselves live together with many kinds of visible, invisible, and non-human beings is called Saha. The sutras say that an infinite number of such large universes or Buddha lands exists in the 10 directions. As they are inhabited by beings in various stages of spiritual development, it should not be confounded with the Pure Land, or Sukhavati, which is an enlightened realm, outside of samsara, manifested by Amida Buddha. Of course, not all the worlds and universes appear or disappear at the same time. When one universe is destroyed, another one appears, while myriads of other universes are in the duration period. Also, the mind stream of beings transmigrates through these universes and planes of existence in all the 4 kalpas, and the period of destruction or annihilation does not destroy them. Thus, even if the bodies they receive according to their karma are destroyed, they are reborn elsewhere in another realm of the same universe or even another universe. It is the nature of every composed thing, including planets, worlds, and universes, to appear, grow, decay, and dissolve themselves. When the collective karma which brought them into existence is exhausted, they are to appear again when another collective karma manifests itself. Namo Amida Bu.